Hello everyone, I am sorry to announce that we will not be doing iteration just quite yet. I completely forgot about the matter, which is switch statements. Let's begin, and I'll explain what these switch statements are as we go on. As usual, console. Don't worry, we'll be doing Windows Form soon. Just want to make sure you know your basics. It's called a switch lesson. That's the name of our project. Okay. So, like you should make a habit of doing, let's put a console.readline right there, so that we don't forget later on. Now, a switch statement will you put a variable into its condition, and it will check if the variable complies with any of the cases that you put. So let's see, how about we have int. Now let's do a console.writeLine. Please pick a number. Console.writeLine 1. Now there is a way to have separate lines, but I do not think it should be good to discuss that as of this moment. 3. Alright. Now my int equals console.readline. We haven't covered this yet. So let's do that right now. Console.readline, which we put at the end, basically waits for input, aka it's waiting for you to press enter basically. Now, having the variable name equals, just like when we cause a variable to be a different value, having the variable equal console.readline means at this moment that basically the first line we have a chance to type, once you press enter, that's what the variable's value will be. Now we have an error here because console.readline is a string and our variable is an int. So what we want to do, we go to convert.toInt32. Now put console.readline in parentheses, and you shouldn't have an error anymore. So now you have your variable, and now here we go, the switch. Type in switch space open parentheses my int, because we want to compare my int to the cases that we choose. So open brackets, case 1, that's if my int is equal to 1, it will follow this. Case 2, case 3. Now normally you'd want to put each code block separately and put break at the end. So it'd be console.writeLine you typed 1. That would work. However, if you leave any of them blank, it will take on the second one. So console.writeLine you chose Now let me explain this a little bit to you also. Now that we're doing a little more, not advanced, but more stuff, you'll see me type new things that you probably haven't seen, and I'll be glad to explain those as well. But first, since case 1 is blank, it'll check case 2's, it'll check below it for any actions. Case 2 is blank, which means if in fact my int does equal 1 or 2, it'll use number 3's action. And you always have to remember to end your case line with a colon. Now if it's a string, if your variable in here is a string, you do in fact need to put the quotes around it to signify it's a string. So console.write line, you chose space. This plus right here means you want to, I believe the pronunciation is concatenate. Basically you're just adding the two things together, you chose, and then plus the variable myInt, which will display you chose space and then myInt, whatever you typed myInt to be earlier. Now let's run this. So it wants us to pick a number. How about we go 2? You chose 2. There's another way you can display the value. You want to have a open bracket 0 open bracket. That is your first argument. You can have, I'm not sure how many, to be honest. You can have a couple of them. It's 0 based, which means you go 0, 1, 2, 3 instead of just 1, 2, 3. So 0 is the first one. You chose 0. Whatever you have right here, comma, and then whatever you put right here is in fact what will appear where the 0 is. So let's run that again just to show you that. Please pick a number. Let's pick 3. You chose 3. And let's see. Typing default will be like your else in if statements. If none of the cases pass, then it will go to the default. And break you need to add at the end of the line because that'll end. It'll let you move out of the switch block. That'll just jump directly out of the switch block. I think that covers everything about switch statements. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.